Hey guys, what's up? It's Sarah and today I am reviewing the James Charles x Morphe collaboration palette. Wow, this is the look that I've come up with. I don't want to show you too much just yet because obviously I want you to watch the tutorial, and if you want to see how I've got this look, please keep on watching. I will be reviewing this palette at the end and letting you know my thoughts and if it's worth the buy. So don't forget to stay till the end if you're at all interested in purchasing this palette. Without further ado, let's jump into it. Okay, so starting off, all I've done is carve underneath my brow and put the Urban Decay primer potion all over my eyelid, but I haven't set that, so we're just gonna dive straight into the eyeshadow. So as you would have seen, I'm going for this kind of rainbow pink halo eye. At this point I have no idea how it's gonna turn out, so you guys know more than I do, but anyway, we're gonna start. So we're gonna go red through to purple. Starting off, I'm gonna take this kind of fluffy packing brush and I'm just gonna be packing on the shade You're Kidding, which is this kind of red. It's this true tone red. I'm just gonna kind of start packing that on the outer portion of my eye. So I'm gonna go red, orange into yellow. I just realized I have no idea what I'm gonna blend these out with, but you know. Oh! I'm also testing for fallout, which I should have thought about before So I just applied some of the RCMA No Colour Powder under my eyes just to catch any fallout as I have finished my base makeup. I'm not going to bring it up too high just yet, just because I don't know how difficult it's going to be to blend, but I'm kind of just tapping out the edges. Okay, now that we've got that first colour laid down, I'm going to switch to the other end of the brush and I'm going to go in with the shade Rusted. And I'm just going to put that right next to the red. So the base that I use is already kind of tacky, so the eyeshadows technically should be sticking better. I have used this palette before, just on a couple looks. I'll insert photos of the looks that I've done with this palette. I did a really pretty purple eye, and the purples were meant to be hard to use. Like, a lot of people have spoken about how they get really patchy on the eyelid, but I really didn't have any issues. You just have to take your time. Like, people get impatient with eyeshadow, but it's like, if you want it to look good, you need to be prepared to take the time. Okay, so now that I've done the red and orange, the first kind of layer, I'm gonna grab a new brush and I'm going to be taking the shade B. I'm not going to tap off the excess, I'm just going to leave it how it is on the brush and pat this on. So I do want to make a halo eye, I do want to cut the crease, so I'm going to layer these colours up quite a lot to make sure then there's like a big difference to where the pink shade is. Just so far, the red and orange shades are lovely, but this yellow shade seems to be a little bit chalky. So I'm just going to tap off whatever is left on this brush and kind of just blend out underneath my brow bone. Just like that. We're using the same colours we used from before, Rusted and You're Kidding. I'm just going to continue to deepen that product and make it a lot more vibrant. And just blending out that edge. And back in with that red shade. So I am noticing a little bit of kickback in the James Charles palette. A lot of people have talked about this already. I personally don't really care about kickback. I mean, you're dunking your brush, you're disrupting the surface that it's in, so it kind of makes sense, but if that is something that bothers you, you might just want to be aware of that. Tapping off. Oh. Now, because I haven't blended much between the shades, I'm kind of just going to bring them in together. So I'm just going to take the rest of the red, get a bit more of that orange shade, tap it off, and blend it so there's no harsh lines in the crease. And I'm going to do the same with the yellow. Just make sure you really don't lose the vibrancy of those colours once you blend them together, because I find that they can kind of just dissipate into the other colour once you blend it. So you just want to make sure that you're patting over where you have put that colour so there's still like the distinct, you know, red, orange, yellow kind of look. Now that we've done one eye, one kind of crease, which really didn't take very long, I'm impressed with the blendability and the ease of these shadows because color can scare people, and I mean it has scared me. I haven't done a lot of work with color, but this has been really easy so far. So I'm just going to take a clean blending brush and I'm just going to lightly, no product on this, go over the edges just to disperse any of those harsh lines. Now we're gonna go in and do the green, blue and purple shades. So taking this Zoeva brush, I'm really just using whatever brush. You just need to be able to pack on that product, so I'm not really doing any blending. I'm gonna go in with the shade Single and then see how dark that is, and then I might layer on top of it Escape just if I want it to be a bit darker. We'll just go in with Single first and see how that goes. And tapping it onto my eyelid. So we're just gonna be doing the same thing that we did on the other eye but with some new colors. And because we are doing a halo eye, you want to bring it in to your eyelid a little bit. Okay, now that we've got the base layer down, I'm going to start doing the blue. So the blue that I'm going to use first is the shade Brother. I'm finding these shades pretty easy to work with, considering the color and how hard it is to make these colors. And like, okay, these are layering amazingly. Like, really impressed with how much these layer and how much you can build up the pigment to what you want it to be. Okay, now that we've got that blue down, I'm going to do the green on the inner part of my eye, so I'm going to go in with the shade Social Blade. Now that we've done that base layer, I'm just going to go and layer on top of the product and blend through the edges and blend it up towards my brow to make it a bit less harsh. Just keep layering that product until you get the pigmentation that you want. Again, just taking that clean brush and just going over the edges like that. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. Now I'm just going to get some concealer because typically, well, I would like to cut my crease with the P. Louise base, but because I don't own that, it's going to make it means I have to use concealer. But if you had the P. Louise base or even any eyeshadow primer that had pigment to it, you could cut the crease with that. So I'm just taking a bit of this concealer. This is the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Concealer in the shade C1. This brush is dirty, but I'm just going to take that on this dirty brush, this kind of domed. Good to cut the crease, and I find it's easier to cut it when it's dirty anyway. So I'm just going to create a kind of halo effect. Okay, so I think I'm just going to do it like that, and I'm just going to pat out the edges with my finger very gently, just so they're not as harsh. And I'm going to take the shade Skip and I'm just going to pat that directly over top, so hopefully it sticks. Oh no! And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what you don't want to happen. Nothing a Q-tip can't fix. Now that we've got that all down, I'm just going to try and blend out those edges with the red and yellow shade. Like that. I'm just going to go around the edges with a little definer brush and just add a bit more product to where that pink line is, just above. So I'm going to go in with the red shade first, bring back that colour, wipe off the excess, and then I'm going in with the orange shade. Cool, so there's one eye done, and I'm just going to cut the crease on the other eye and do the exact same thing. Taking another definer brush, I'm just going to go over the edges of the pink with the colours up top. I'm just going to flip over that little pink brush we used, and I'm going to just tap on some of that shade Sister, which is a slightly pink shimmery shade. And I'm just going to put that right in the center. I just wanted to say I did struggle a little bit. A bit of the pink fell out near my nose, so I had to kind of fix that up. But other than that, I haven't really had any issues with fallout. So I guess I was patting a lot of that shade on, so maybe that's why. Anyway, I'm going to do the lower lash line now. So I'm just going to repeat the same red, orange, yellow and purple, blue, green on the other side. For the inner corner and the brow bone, I'm going to go in with some of the shade Face, because everyone's been saying how that's a really amazing highlighter. Really quickly, I'm going to go off camera and apply some lashes and lipstick, and I'll be right back with you to show you the final look. Well guys, there you have it. There is my finished pink halo rainbow eye using the James Charles X Morphe palette. I know I'm a bit late on this bandwagon, but I got my hands on it a while ago. I just haven't had time to film and play with it yet, but I'm really excited and glad that I did today. Now for my review. Mine is already so freaking dirty, so I think the only complaint I have about this packaging is the matte and like the gloss writing just gets filthy really quickly, so it's a bit annoying. But other than that, I wish the shade names came underneath the shadow. That's another complaint I have about the packaging. But onto the actual product itself. The colours are stunning, as you can see. The palette is huge. You're never going to run out of these shades. In terms of the layout, I think it's beautifully laid out, really easy to understand and work with and know what colours you're using because of the colour scheme. I think it's really clever, and whoever picked where these shades sit is awesome. I experienced quite a lot of kickback in the pan, as you can see, like Pinkety Drinkety is a bit dirty, same with Skip and the shimmery shades up here. The blendability, I have no complaints at all. I've never really struggled that hard with eyeshadow. I kind of just keep going till I make it work, but I don't have any complaints about the blendability. I mean, the darker shades probably are harder to work with. My eyes are watering. The darker shades are probably harder to work with if you're not a very good blender or haven't had much experience blending, I should say, just because you are layering color upon color. Like if you were to go in with these shades here, start 1, 2 and then 3, might start to build up and cake and stuff. And you've also got to consider that once you layer eyeshadow upon eyeshadow, it's not gonna appear, you know, as vibrant as you want it per se, because obviously you put a powder over the top of your base, meaning that it's no longer tacky, it's already set. So you just have to keep that in mind. There is a slight bit of fallout, especially since you're packing the product. There are pressed pigments in here if you didn't know. They're not normal eyeshadows, and there's something I think on the white box that it comes in that says that you're not meant to put pressed pigments on your eyes, and obviously this is retailed and marketed as an eyeshadow palette, so you know, if you have sensitive skin, this may not be the best option for you, but for me it's been fine. In terms of buying this product, I definitely think it's worth the money if you're going to use it. I was talking to a girl the other day, and I just think that this is a really good investment. I'm obviously about to study to become like a makeup artist, and I do this, and obviously it's good for you guys, like seeing colourful looks like this, and in case you ever want to try anything out, even with cheaper products and similar shades. If you're not going to be using these colourful shades regularly, I just don't think it's worth the buy, just because if you're gonna stick to all of these, like this middle row and these kind of neutral shades here, I just think that there's other palettes you can get that will give you more of them, and they might be slightly creamier, a bit more blendable, and they're intended for the purpose of neutral eye looks, warm toned crease shades, that kind of thing. Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes are beautiful for that. I also really like Too Faced palettes. Oh, and if you wanted specifically a Morphe palette, because there are so many shades in here, the Jaclyn Hill palette is still, I think, my go-to like starter palette. I would not say this palette with all of these colors is good for like a starter in makeup, like a young girl or boy who's just getting into makeup, I don't think this is the best way to go. I would go with the Jaclyn Hill palette if you're choosing to buy with Morphe. If there's any complaints or if I have anything else to say about it, I probably would do another video just because there are so many looks I can do with this and I'm sure you guys would love to see another look. Anyway, if you liked this video, don't forget to give it a massive thumbs up. Let me know what your thoughts are on the James Charles palette. If there's any looks that you want me to do, or if there's anything else you want me to talk about or show you, I'm more than happy to do that. I love your suggestions and I definitely take them on board and consider them when I'm planning what to film. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thanks so much for checking in and watching my channel videos. Yeah. I love you guys so much and I'll see you next Sunday. Bye!